Welcome to my YouTube channel, or welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new, hi, my name is Lisa and I love everything makeup, especially indie brands. But you know what? You know what else I love? I love rock and roll. I love heavy metal. I'm a Gen Xer, but I gotta tell you, I'm pretty eclectic with my music, but I am hardcore heavy metal, old school rock and roll. And I wanted to introduce the first video of this series, and it will be once a month, second Saturday of every month. Not sure the time as far as the day when it'll go up, but it'll be the second Saturday of every month. And it's music inside the makeup. And the second passion that I have is music besides makeup. I listen to music, you know, when I am cleaning, when I'm putting on my makeup. I sing all the time. Like, I am just, I watch any kind of biographies I can get my hands on, you know, to listen to either podcasts or on, you know, YouTube, of course, because YouTube is like the second largest search engine besides Google. So with that, you know, I just kind of wanted to create this because I feel like music is the one commonality that, regardless of all the bullshit in the world and the opinions of this person, the opinions of that person, it is the one commonality for sure that we all have in common, that we all truly love. And so I figured, why not do this, you know? So I chose, you know, to start off with Motley Crue. And, you know, at first I was going to do Black Sabbath, and I said, you know what? Maybe we're going to slow the roll just a little bit. Okay. And we'll start off with some, you know, everybody knows Motley Crue. Everybody knows Motley Crue. And when they did The Dirt, when they did The Dirt on Netflix, that special, the biography, that was something that kind of catapulted them back to the top, and it, you know, showcased them for new generations, you know. So yeah, let's get into it. I don't know how this is going to all work out. Hopefully I don't get any copyright issues because I'm going to play a song. You know, I'm not sure if I should do it because because of that, but because I have it all ready to go here and on my speaker here on this extra phone that I had, Looks That Kill, okay, and just playing it on the speaker here, even having it like low, but I'm just not sure if I will get copyright issue unless, I mean, I could give them obviously hashtagging and giving Motley Crue credit, saying, you know, this is not my music, all that kind of stuff. I just don't want to take that chance. So I'm not sure. I think I might have to find out a little bit more of that. But should I just take the chance maybe on the next video and just like next month, whatever band I choose, and just try and see what happens? Because on my first video, I don't want to go and put all this work in and then it just gets copyrighted and nobody gets to see it. That will suck. So with that, I am going to just create a look on one eye because I'm not editing. This is not going to be edited, so it's probably going to be over an hour long, and it's probably going to take me a day and a half to upload it on YouTube. But please do let me know in the comments, is this something you guys are interested in? Do you dig it? Are you willing and wanting to watch something like this where I choose a band and one of their songs and a palette that it is inspiring to me what I kind of see for either like the band or that song, what they kind of represent in my mind's eye, in my opinion. And you know what? Just let me know. Let me know, because it's really, I'm here for you guys. You know what I mean? And I enjoy hanging out here. I've had a blast. I've had so many people that have been so uplifting, and I've met some amazing people. And you guys have given me a couple of ideas and what you would like to see. So those are things I'm taking into account as well. And so yeah, I hope you enjoy this video. I hope you enjoy this series. And, you know, if it doesn't do well, then I just won't do it anymore. You know what I mean? But why not take a chance? Because, again, it's two passions that I absolutely love: music and makeup. So with that, you guys. So Motley Crue, this shirt, actually, we have a huge gathering, concerts every year here in Florida, and it's called Rockville. And it's 4 days of unadulterated, just nothing but heavy metal, rock and roll, you know, just people going ape shit all over the place and just rocking out, okay? And to the bands that they love. And been wanting to go, and especially last year. Motley Crue was there. My son and his fiance went, and he got me this Motley Crue shirt. So yeah, I have not seen them. Can you believe it? I have not ever seen Motley Crue. I saw Metallica, Danzig, Suicidal Tendencies, Def Leppard, Joan Jett, like Tesla. I have never got to see Motley Crue or Ozzy, for that matter. What? Right? Oh my God. Raising babies, you know, and, you know, priorities came first. So, but you know what? Here we are. Talk a little bit about Motley Crue, talk a little bit about the band, do a one eye look. And again, I chose Looks That Kill by Motley Crue. And I chose for a palette, which I don't know if you guys would probably guess this, but I don't hear a lot about this brand, this indie brand right here. And it's Girl Cult. So Girl Cult, and I do have I only have two of their palettes. And it's this small little quad here. And here's the packaging. And this is what this quad looks like. And the multi-chrome that's in here, like this was marble, this black, and it had red marbling in it. And it's all the way through. It's not an overspray or anything like that. It's all the way through, and it's so, so pretty. I'm going to swatch this. The just black, okay? This multi-chrome. Their formula is sick. It is fire. Like this brown, right? So yeah, it's just neutral. And then this is like a dark brick red, like a brick red, right? And you get a mirror. Their packaging is freaking awesome. I believe that this is a Korean-based, I was looking for indie brand, or China, I can't remember. And I've had this quad for quite some time, like probably 2 years, I think. So it's pretty emollient, this multi-chrome. This very, like you can see the green, the shift, green to pink to gold. And this isn't the palette I'm going to use, but because I only have two palettes, I might as well show you it because this is just a quad anyway. And then the black. And I do believe Girl Cult shadows are clay-based as well, along with, I believe, Kaleidos's as well, I think. So don't quote me on that. But if you do know for sure in the comments, let me know. But I do know that these are clay-based from what I was told. And hopefully I'm not wrong, but they definitely go on. And the longevity of these are incredible. Now, me going through menopause, my lids used to be really oily, and now they're freaking really dry as the Mojave Desert, just like my under eyes. So now, since I've gone through menopause, like so that gorgeous squirrel. I have, my skin's changed. It's changed dramatically. And of course, being here in Florida, the water here It's highly chlorinated, even though we have a good filter system. But I can tell you, yeah. So I just, knowing that these are clay-based, and so I just make sure that I have a primer on, which you'll never catch me not wearing a primer. Anyways, but the longevity of these are amazing from Girl Cult. Yes, I only have 2 of, you know, their palettes, but I can tell you I've created some really beautiful looks with both of these palettes. But the palette that I have chosen to do for this song, that the inspiration, is this one here. Now, I did get this from the TikTok shop. They are on the TikTok shop as well as their own website. And they're also, I believe, they have a YouTube channel as well, I believe. So this is the palette that I've chosen for Looks That Kill by Motley Crue. And I'm just going to play this low in the background as I show you the palette. And here is the palette. It literally like matches this shirt, right? This multi-chrome here is like gold to green to orange. It's so freaking pretty. So I'll swatch. See that? The gold, the green, like there is, let me see, I'll grab my mirror so that you can, sorry, I don't mean to give you the middle finger or anything. But hopefully you guys can see. Like actually, this, if I'm over here, it does it actually better. You can see the red, orange, the gold, the green. Look at that. It just definitely matching my shirt. I was like, oh yeah, this one. I was going through all my palettes. I'm like, yeah, I could have chose Blend Bunny or even, you know, Glam Light, which they had the Breaking Dawn Part 1 launched today. Yes, they did. So did Ensley Rain. They had their launch today for Glow. Oh my God. Which I do have a code with Ensley Rain. It's all capital letters, FFM Lisa. Will save you 10%. If you use it, thank you so much. If you don't, that's okay too. Just use another creator. Save yourself some moolah. That Glow palette's awesome. It's beautiful. It's more pastel-y, but it's springtime. So these spring launches are gonna kind of be like that. But anyways, back to this squirrel. There's this gray, and then you've got this black that has blue shimmers in it. Now with Girl Cult, when they do mattes like this, the shimmer doesn't go away when you blend it out. You do have to like build it up a little bit, but the shimmer's still there. And look at how black. Like a lot, I just don't know why there's not more people talking, or that I have seen talking about Girl Cult. Seriously. So that's that gray. This blue is actually a cream. So you can use it as a liner. And you can see I've used this as a winged out liner, and then put this sparkly blue over that. Yeah. So it's that electric blue color. Cream. Just glides easy, blends out really easy. It's not patchy, it didn't crease or anything like that. Even though I haven't like put it all over my lid or anything like that. And I just had used it once as just a straight up cream, like gel liner, and then did the black shimmer over that, and it held the shimmers. So in low light, it was so, so pretty. And the look that we're gonna do, I might even just recreate that look. I don't know. We'll figure out when we get there. All right. So that was the song, right? And then while I'm creating the look, I'll kind of go through my, notes of that I wrote down about the band, the history, stuff like that. So here, I'm going to finish swatching. This is like a baby blue, really pretty to blend out, right? Your transition. A matte white, which I do appreciate a matte white. It depends on, the palette. Here's this really pretty blue shimmer, like a dark blue, like navy blue shimmer. So pretty. I mean, look at how it's just swatching. This white was kind of a little, it's very pigmented, so you can build it up. And I only had to go in like maybe twice. But even that it's not really patchy, but it is kind of dry. But again, these are, as far as I know, clay-based, from what I was told, shadows. So, and please do correct me if I'm wrong, if I have been told the wrong information, because when I got these palettes, I did not look at the description or anything. It was something that was told to me. So if I am wrong, please do let me know in the comments, but they do feel and swatch and apply like clay shadows. So I'm just assuming that that's, the correct information. You know what I'm saying? And I did get my Divina order today. I'm so, so happy. Hi, Deandra. Y'all, I can't wait to create looks tomorrow for you guys and upload. I'm going to be doing it tomorrow, showing you the shadows that I picked up from both of the new collections, the new puller, pan puller that her husband was so awesome to make, so many, so that everybody who was asking for pan pullers, that she was able to do so for you guys, for us. And I am happy to announce that I was accepted on the affiliate program too. So I am so honored and so happy and excited. And again, that too is going to be, my code is always hopefully going to be the same, capital letters FFM Lisa. So, and with her, it's going to be saving 15%. So that's freaking amazing. So thank you so much, Dee. Thank you. And, I'm excited. I'm so excited. So back to this, because I'm squirrel. Been with me a hot minute, Maybe you have a little bit of squirrel too. So this last shimmer. Again, I feel like this one, it's just, I don't think I've used the dark blue one. I don't think. But this one, yeah. So yeah, so this is, it's a eight pan palette, packaging, Girl Cult, just luxe quality, sturdy, nice mirror all the time. Shadows are really, really beautiful. It took me a little bit to get used to their formula, but you know what? I did, and I have created some really beautiful looks with just these two palettes that I have. And they do have a bigger palette that I would like to get at some point, but you know what? I've been playing with these and thoroughly enjoying them. It's nice to shop your stash. It truly is. So with that, here we are. We're already going on, we're 19 minutes in and haven't even done a look yet, but my lids are primed. Played the Motley Crue song. Hopefully I don't get copyright issues. But, so, Motley Crue, 4 members, and It was formed in 1981 in Los Angeles, Hollywood, California, by Nikki Sixx, and who had found with Tommy Lee. And then Mick Mars and Vince Neil joining afterwards, right? So, and then they rose to fame as a heavy metal glam rock band, known for their wild stage presence and wild lifestyle, as we all know and remember the stories. Nikki Sixx, Tommy Lee, and the vocalist guitarist Greg Leone formed the band in '81, with Nikki and Leone having previously played in other bands, right? Mick Mars joined after he saw an ad in the paper, which this was also in the movie The Dirt, the bio Dirt, right? If you've seen on Netflix. Again, catapulted them to new generations, right? So, and they were looking for a loud, rude, and aggressive guitar player. Well, they certainly found him. They certainly found him for sure. Vince joined after an audition. And so I own the movie The Dirt. Like, I thought definitely rude, crude, rock and roll, and all the above, right? If you've seen it, then you know. And the wild time that they had with King Ozzy, for sure. But there was a lot of sad stuff that happened, a lot of things that, Nikki Sixx had gone through, and in recovery, and, deaths that happened, and a lot of wear and tear on the band, right? But they released their debut album, self-titled Too Fast for Love, in 1981, which later re-released after signing with Elektra Records in 1982. Their rise to fame, hey, the band gained notoriety for the SD and rock and roll image, like I was saying, with very energetic live concerts. So, and I've got some notes, because I don't know everything about the band, and if you're new and you didn't know anything about Motley Crue, I wanted to make sure that I was being kind of informative as well. So, the breakthrough, again, their breakthrough album, Shout at the Devil, in 1983, propelled them to stardom. And the hits like Looks That Kill and Too Young to Fall in Love, and I get both of those songs I absolutely love. I love that whole album, actually. They toured with Ozzy Osbourne in 1994, further jetting them forward and expanding their fan base. So Motley Crue released several successful albums like Theater of Pain, 1985, Girls, 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 1987, and Dr. Feelgood, 1989, which reached #1 on the Billboard 200 charts. Dr. Feelgood had a couple hits alone on that album, such as Kickstart My Heart and Home Sweet Home. And I gotta say, Home Sweet Home is like a ballad that never gets old. It never gets old. When you hear it, you're just it reels you in, the whole nostalgia and the memories. You're catapulted back to the 80s. You know what I mean? So, yeah. Before I get into any more, I'm going to just start with this. I'm going to put this baby blue. So this blue all over my lid. And I'm going to start with, what do I want to use here? Why don't I use my Sigma? And this is the E24. And I'm going to go into this blue. This is a really pretty baby blue color. And grab my mirror. And we're going to do this eye here. So I'm going to come up. Make sure there's no creasing. I had used my Sigma base. And I'm going to just put this blue in my crease and up on and create a fake crease as well, because we're hooded gals here. Yes, we are. And this is a very light, so I have to build it up a little bit, and that's okie dokie. And so just building it right in the crease and then creating my own false crease on my hood, and then gonna blend, and a blend. You know, and I figure this is the first video, and I knew I had notes and stuff and history about the band and wanting to talk about it, but I, you know, being the first video, I didn't know how this was gonna go, really, you know, not editing, and that it was gonna be what, you know, too long if I did it. I put it off for so long because I wanted to have editing and the thumbnail, excuse me, the thumbnail with having like, the looks, that album cover in the background and stuff, but that stuff I don't know how to do yet. And I do, like I said, I have Canva, and I do have, what was it, vidIQ, but Deandra actually, I know I can edit like on iMovie, like on my phone, and Deandra also sent me, I think it's VN Editor or something like that. But then come to find out, CapCut actually has a free editor program too, like for your phone. And I didn't know that. So I'm gonna look into, my throat is dry. I'm gonna look into using CapCut, because I use CapCut on TikTok. Not a lot, but I have used it. So, and I know how to edit on TikTok. I'd say 3/4 of, you know, editing on TikTok, because there's a lot more you can do now with editing on TikTok than you used to like 3 years, 4 years ago. So I'm literally just, I built that up in my crease and then just blending all over the brow, inner corner here, in here, and kind of blending it outward in the socket. And then you can see that I have it more concentrated here, but it's blended out. And so I'm going now, whoops, sorry, put that in front of your face. So now I'm gonna take, and I literally have my glasses like in front of me. And there is some kick up in the pan, but not a lot, which is surprising, being like having clay base. So this blue, I'm gonna take that gray, this here, and I'm gonna put that right here. And actually I don't want to use that. I want to use a domed pencil brush. So I'm going to take my BK Beauty domed pencil brush, and I'm going to go into that gray. Tappity, 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 tappity off. And just to let you guys know, like, what I have on my lips, which I have, let me know in the comments if you have the same thing. I have like this double line here and a very prominent Cupid's bow, as you can see. But this double line here, no matter if I use lip liner, it could be the best lip liner and it will still bleed down into that line. Alex Aleli, I want to say, I think she did photography and eye looks for Pat McGrath. I love watching her. And I think she had done a video on how you can kind of trick the eye so that doesn't happen. I don't know, it didn't work for me, but either it's probably complete user error, you know, it was on me for sure. But anywho, I took these two lip liners, and this was from the Holly Ho Trick or Treat from Glam Light. And if you didn't see my ranking of my Glam Light collections and palettes, please do go over to my YouTube channel. It's right there. And if you do, I appreciate it so much. So I took this liner, but at first I took the ColourPop one. This went to the Frosty the Snowman, so it was like kind of red. And then kind of went just over it, because this one's like a milk chocolatey brown. And then took this orange, same thing with the kit. This is like an orange nude. And because I feel like it definitely went with my shirt. So I did that. And then just put this orange shimmer again with the same kit. And it's like a sheer orange shimmer. This one doesn't have a candy smell, which really surprised me. Very high shine, love that. I love Glam Light's glosses anyways. I feel like their lip liners don't stay for very long, just my opinion, but still very pretty though. And their strawberry shortcake one is like always out of stock. So I'm going to take that gray and I'm going to put that in my, literally in my socket, because I want it to be just below the concentrated baby blue to give just a little bit of depth. So yeah, these are very pigmented, but again, they're not so pigmented that you can't blend them. The two palettes that I have from them have always been, they have been really great. I haven't had any problems like building the color up or blending or longevity or anything like that. And that's why I'm so surprised that I don't hear more people promoting or, you know, talking about Girl Cult. Now, Girl Cult is, it definitely is a vibe, okay? It definitely is gravitated towards a lot of gothy, emo kind of vibe that way. You know what I mean? But everybody can use their stuff. You know what I mean? Everybody, it's for everyone, because there are palettes that, I mean, just because a palette has dark grungy colors doesn't mean that you cannot create a neutral everyday look. You know what I mean? At least in my opinion. For me, anyway. So I'm literally on the outside here, even though I have the gray in my socket, and kind of using the brush to blend the edge slightly so it's not so stark, so harsh, right? Which is blending into that powder blue really well. And I'm just kind of going, looking forward, but kind of down, you know what I mean? Because of my hood. Slight windshield wiper movements. And then patting. because I want to push this gray slightly upwards here. And I'll probably have to go into the product one more time, because I'm also going to use that blue shimmer shadow, the black with the shimmer in it. And I hope you're, you know, doing this right along with me, people. Hopefully you have a palette, listening to some music, maybe got your coffee, a snack or something like that, and you are chilling here with me, creating a look, or even maybe recreating this look I'm doing with just different colors maybe. I mean, yeah, join in, have fun with your makeup, because if not, what's the point? So I'm gonna go in one more time, same brush, tap it off, and just on the outside to deepen and push this product up onto my hood. But I'm gonna end up going back into the baby blue with another, probably the same blending brush, maybe a little bit smaller than that blending brush, because I'm gonna lose some of the blue. Going back in, push the product. So that I have this shape, right? I want that cat eye kind of look. And if you've been with me for a minute, you know this is my trouble child. So usually I fight blending on this side. So we're gonna push this up a little bit more. And again, because I'm not editing, I'm not gonna make you guys watch me put on, you know, liner and a lash, but I'll do depending on the time frame, like we're at 37 minutes, so like doing mascara. And of course I'll put something in my waterline, which I'm thinking my waterline, I have like this blue, this one from ColourPop, the multi-chrome one. So we'll see how that goes. But, so going forward, the challenges and the breakups on Motley Crue. They faced quite a bit of challenges, like creative differences, substance abuse issues, and legal troubles. Vince left the band in 1992. Tommy Lee took 5-year hiatus, which, if you know, you know, in 1999. Despite it all, they reunited in 2006 and released their last full-length album, Saints of Los Angeles, in 2008. And in 2014, the band signed a group death pact, which I didn't really... when groups do this, and Kiss did it, like, I want to say multiple times. Like, they said, oh, nope, we're done. We're never going to come back out of retirement. We're going to retire. We're done, right? That's not how it went down. Like, how many times did Kiss come back? Too many. But still, it gave new generations, just like them coming, you know, back out of retirement, like getting back together and doing this tour, like the generations to see them. And actually, you can still see them in Las Vegas. I guess, like, tickets right now, April 19th to June something. But when I looked, all of them were in Las Vegas. So wherever they're, you know, gathering for playing it in Las Vegas. So I guess you still can kind of see them. So this group, Death Pact, agreeing to cease touring after December 31st, 2015. However, in 2019, they announced a 36-date tour for 2020, which of course COVID-19 happened, right? So that was delayed. And they reunited for their first on-stage reunion in 7 years in 2022. So the legacy in staying relevant was Motley Crue has sold over 100 million records worldwide, achieved 7 platinum or multi-platinum certifications, had numerous top 40 mainstream rock hits. Their music continues to be licensed by major brands and featuring in TV shows and so on, right? Because we've all seen movies where their music is still played to this day. So their biography, like we were saying and talking about earlier, The Dirt, if you haven't seen it, you got to see it. It's on Netflix. Confessions of the World's Most Notorious Rock Band. Now, that was a book first, and then they turned it into like the movie, right? The Dirt. So it became a New York Times bestseller as well. In 2019, like I was saying, the Netflix biopic based on the book, The Dirt, further solidified their iconic status and gained them a new generation of fans, which truly it did, right? The band continues to tour all over the world with John Five on guitar since 2023, which Mick Mars had to retire due to his longtime illness and continued struggle with his condition and the demands of, you know, touring. However, Mick Mars has decided to also create his own music, and he's doing well with that, you know, without the band. And this wasn't an easy, clean break, you know, unfortunately. Mick retired from touring in 2022, but has been involved in, you know, some legal stuff, including a lawsuit related to the said retirement and the band's business structure. You know, in my opinion, I feel like the band did Mick dirty. I'm just saying. It's my opinion, and that's all I'm gonna say for that. So that's all I have as far as like my kind of research and stuff about Motley Crue, and we're gonna finish this look. We're at 43 minutes, and it's really kind of a quick, easy kind of look, because I can take the same brush here, go back into the gray, and I'm gonna use this right here, connect it on my lower lash line. Yeah, I feel like the band did Mick dirty. I feel that what had happened, I mean, his condition, there was no way, eventually they had to know that there was no way that he could continue. And it was really kind of, you know, it was hard on him. Really hard on him. But to this day, he is writing and he's playing his own music, which is great. And I love that for him. So, just saying. But I have loved Motley Crue's music for so long. My hubby really loves Motley Crue. His style is a lot of Nikki Sixx stuff. Actually, here's a funny story. Even on TikTok, a lot of people were like, oh my God, he kind of looks like Nikki Sixx. I'm like, okay. We were out and about on the bike, and this guy was like really drunk. He was like really had too many toddies, okay, in the Florida sun. And we get off the bike, and the guy, when his wife comes over, his wife is like stone cold sober, and she's just like, I am so sorry. Right? But I think she also thought the same thing for a hot, because it happens once in a great while when we go out and about. And the way he had his hair and the way it looked when we got off of, and his glasses, whatever it was, you know what I mean? And the guy goes, hey, are you Nikki Sixx? Like, and I guess I'd have to show you guys like a picture of my hubby. There's a specific picture I have that he kind of does. You'd have to like see the picture. But anywho, it was funny. And Joey takes off his glasses and he's like, no, dude. Joey has a really thick, like, Southern accent. So as soon as he kind of opened his mouth, he's like, oh. It was just, you had to be there, okay? But anyway, I am going to take that blue, and I'm taking my Singe EO6. And I'm pressing. I'm not, because I want that blue. Yeah. I'm kind of going half on, half off with the blue over the gray, so it's not mixing too much. And on the outside here, like so. And I'm gonna just that powder blue a little more in my inner corner to brighten that up a little more. I am super, super excited to play with my Divina tomorrow. And after this, I'm going to eat dinner, visit with the hubby, and then I'm going to come back in, and it's going to be nighttime by that time. I'm going to just blend this in on the bottom. I'm going to be doing my top 20 spring palettes. Yes, I said top 20. And it's from every brand that I have, at least a couple of palettes per brand that I have. And they are pretty much all indie brands. I think there's one or two that is mainstream, but for the most part, it is indie brands. So now I am blending with this brush back and forth on my hood. So we get that nice, hopefully nice blend, and it's not muddy or anything like that, just to soften up like that. So you can see it. It's coming together. Trust the process. We always say trust the process, right? You're following me. You know, I'm a cuckoo. I'm a nut job. I'm a nut job. But I've got a big heart. I love helping people. And I love lifting people up. Especially, you know, in this like beauty space, like lifting other creators up. One of my favorite things, because this beauty space can be pretty challenging and a little rugged sometimes. But I'd say 90% of the time I have found nothing but positivity and great people. And, you know, Deandra is definitely one of those people. And if you don't know who Deandra is, she is the owner, creator, CEO of Divina Cosmetics. And she's just so awesome, just so kind, you know, and so happy that our paths crossed. So that is where I'm going to leave that. So this is just a dark, smoky, definitely go to the concert, jump on the Harley kind of creative look, right? Nothing crazy, but definitely like dark smoky, you know? And of course, this is my problem child, as we all know. So this blending here, on camera, it doesn't look like there isn't anything, but it's there. It's there, and it's softened, it's blended. So we just got this dark smoky moment going, you know? So I'm gonna clean off my brushes with this, and I'm gonna take, I've also been using my Divina brushes to get used to them more, and definitely after I wash them, which when you get new brushes, you should wash them anyways. Do we? I don't, I don't, but you should. But I didn't, and I don't, and they were a little stiff, but as soon as I wash them, so much better. So much better, and I have been enjoying them thoroughly, and they are so good for hooded eyes. So, what the hell are you looking for, Lisa? Hello. Well, we're just going to dip into Divina. How about that? I'm going to take, and it's awesome for the inner corner, this little guy here. And it is the Divina D102. And I'm going to take the white and put it in the inner corner. Because again, if you've been with me, you know I don't really do shimmer on my inner corner. I like a bright, matte inner corner. Do you see how pigmented that is? Yeah. And I'm going to just blend it upwards. Like so. Just so that all ties in together. So you guys, please do let me know if did you enjoy this kind of content. Like, I don't want to create something that, you guys aren't going to get into, because I know that they're going to be at least an hour long. But my videos are an hour long anyways when I do tutorials. Oh, why not maybe listen to some music and talk about bands that we all know and love? You know what I'm saying? And listen to one song and just talk about the history of the band, But because I have notes, like, well, I guess I could have looked as I was doing it. But again, this is my first video on it. So just giving it a go on how the next time I can get better and better and better at it, with you guys giving me some pointers on how you would maybe like to see it formatted, maybe give me some pointers with that, as long as I can do it, without editing, because we just aren't doing that right now. I'm looking into it. I'm slowly looking into it, okay? I'm getting there. Like I said, if you've been with me for a minute, you know it's an abnormal fear. Not so much that I can't do it. And it's silly. It is. And I've talked about it numerous times. And I know it's what's holding me back as well. And I know it's probably why I have lost quite a few, subscribers. But, if they like my content enough and, I'm for them, then, they'll stick it out. They'll stick it out. But anyways, so here is where we're at with this look, okay? And I'm going to put some glitter glue on. I have my Divina. This is the Specular Sparkle and Shimmer, which I got in PR. Thank you, D. I need one of my and I think I'm gonna put, let's see, should we use the multi-chrome, or should we use this blue here? No, we gotta use the shifty bitch. We gotta use the shifty bitch. So I'm gonna take my 4 brush that I use my glitter glues. And see, I like this packaging because, and Unearthly has the same packaging where you can see the product coming out, so you don't like take too much, but I always do anyway, but that's all right. So I am going to put this all over my lid because I want to put the multi-chrome, just one shimmer, the multi-chrome all over my lid. Well, I don't know, if maybe I'll use that dark blue, because when I do tutorials and I do stuff like this, it usually ends up being an hour and 15 minutes. Usually always does. But because this is going to be a series anyway, and of course not editing, I kind of planned that this was at least going to be an hour to an hour and 15. But like I said, we're bringing long form content back, baby. Long form content back. We're back in the day, because I've had my YouTube channel, my account, for like 11 years, 12 years. So I remember there just wasn't a whole heck of a lot of editing, and, you know, videos were a half hour to an hour, sometimes depending on what it was, you know, hour and 15, hour and a half, like it depended, you know. So I'm gonna take that, let that get tacky for just a moment. Now I think I'm gonna take that dark blue because I think it's gonna go into the gray really nice, and then the multi-chrome here. That's what we're gonna do, damn it. And let me, my desk at my table is a freaking hot mess, just like me. But, you know, so I think I'm gonna, no, I don't want to do that. I'm gonna take this Davina, this one, which is it is D106. And I am going to first use my finger, and then I'm going to use this brush to spread and blend the multi-chromes. So the dark blue on the outer corner here, because I'm going to end up taking the gray and bringing it in and building it up, blending it into the dark blue anyway. Right? And just the outer corner. You guys can see that, right? And I have my coffee, but when I start my yap, unless my throat starts to get dry, then I'm like, yeah, I gotta stop, take a drink of water or some coffee, because I love my coffee. Yeah. So I kind of went back into the product a little bit more. And then I'm gonna take the brush, but first I want to get the multi-chromes on there first, or the shimmers, this multi-chrome. So my ring finger again. And these are really silky smooth, very silky smooth. Choo, doggy. And this is gonna go the rest of my lid. Hi. Oh, this never gets old. This never gets old. Whew. Okay. Okay, girl cult. Okay. All right. Now I'm gonna take that brush, my Davina brush. Oop. First, I'm gonna go into the multi-chrome. And there's no names on here for the shadows. You can see that it picks up product really good. I'm not even gonna spray it. And I'm gonna follow my natural crease here, my natural, socket crease here. And just kind of blend that. And my tear duct, like my inner corner tear duct is pretty like pointy and very pronounced. And it goes like inward. So it's really weird. Sometimes I gotta get the brush like really in there, which just is weird to me. Okay. I'm gonna wipe that off. Now I'm gonna go back into the dark blue shimmer. This one I think I might spray. Any kind of that has like glycerin in it is good for this kind of thing to spray your shadows, your shimmers. And I'm going to slightly up on my hood where that little gray wing I did. Manipulating the shimmer. And I'm going to mix these two now, like back and forth, so that there's not such a rough, harsh line separating the shimmers. So it's like blending them. And the blue and the gold and what, it's almost like giving it a green in the middle, slightly. I'm gonna go back into the dark blue shimmer one more time, but I'm not gonna spray it. And then I'm gonna take my EO1, which is from Singe. And I'm also going to link Girl Cult's website in the description box per usual for you guys. And Davina Cosmetics website. in case you would like to pick up these brushes or anything from her new launch, which I hope to see you guys on the next video, because the next couple of videos, because tomorrow I'm definitely doing my Divina and showing you guys some shadows from those two collections she just launched, and the new pan puller. I'm going to be using these brushes and the two, well, the glitter primer you saw tonight, and then the matte primer, which is Prelusion. Going to use that as well. And but tonight I'm also going to be downloading, like I said, my top 20 spring palettes. So hopefully I do see you guys on those, you know. And again, please do tell me what you guys thought about this video. Is it something that you think I should continue to do? Is it something that you would really continue to watch? It is only going to be once a month. And we know that it's probably going to be at least an hour and 15. So if it's something you would set aside and want to watch, then yeah, you know, I'll keep going. So I'm going to take that black with the blue shimmer in it. And with that same brush, I decided not to do the gray. Decided to do the black. Because she's a pigmented, okay? She's pigmented. And I'm gonna do like a wedge. I'm patting this because I want it to be dark. Patting it right into the blue and almost like right to where the blue and the gold meet, multichrome, to do this kind of winged wedge here. Right up on my hood where that shimmer meets. And I'm pressing. And I've kind of turned. And now just kind of gonna slightly blend into the top of the shimmers. I mean, like a tickle, seriously. Using the very tip of this brush to pull that black to basically make it gray. Pull it right along. And then I'm gonna slightly blend that. So I got it kind of winged. Making sure it's blended into the blue. Like so. And I can use this same brush. I'm gonna go back into that black shimmer. Because I'm gonna carry this right into my waterline, on my lash line here. Literally like on my lashes and in my waterline. Because I already do have like that gray and blue here. And I don't want that to override it. Because as we know, you know, black can really get carried away and can get away from you. And I don't want that to happen with this. And like I said, these are so pigmented. cleaning off my brush. This little Davina brush, I think it almost resembles my magic wand that I call from Cosmic Beauty. So I'm gonna give it a try. To have that blue, baby blue on the outside here. To blend. To go back in that blue. That was too much. Kind of go back in here. The white that I have, which is going to make it a little gray, right? Let's go back into the... I feel like Bob Ross. We're just going to put a little happy tree here, and we're going to blend that out and give him a friend. And oh, Lord. My grandmother used to love watching Bob Ross. So, now, before I do my whole multi-chrome thingy-mabobber, I do want to take... Where did you go? And hopefully, the same brush that I started out with, I'm going to go back into like the baby blue. But I'm also going to dip into the white a little bit. So basically creating a real powder blue. This and this one a little bit. And sorry if that was really loud, because this is a really stark line. And I want to put this up on my hood as well. And give this a little more. And just going back and forth. Just to kind of soften up that line. And this is on my hood, but it's also my crease line from my socket. And I'm just going back and forth to soften up the line. I'm going to wipe off my brush. And just like a tickle so that it doesn't push the product too far. Back and forth really lightly. It's also taking up that shimmer a little bit too. This is full glam. Again, I am a full glam chick. This would be something definitely you could do for a concert. The club. The bar. You know. And we're going to wing this out a little bit. I just do the flick job here. Like that. Dark, smoky. This came out badass in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? Definitely goes with my Motley Crue t-shirt. I'm going to put the multi-chrome liner. Again, this cream here, you could do like the electric blue liner. That would have been badass, but we're already at 114, y'all. So this is by Girl Cult. Don't sleep on this brand, indie brand. It's awesome. I'm going to put the multi-chrome liner. This blue. which again, if, I'm just going to do 3/4. I'm going to leave this white, which I do have my white liner, which I'll probably put white liner. Why not? This is like an indigo blue, but it has a shift of purple and kind of like gold. Right? And Lord, I'm going to have to do this on the other eye so that when I do the top 20 spring palettes tonight, I'm not going to look all sorts of crazy. But then again, you know what? It's so late. I just might do it because y'all know I usually come on here with one eye done. You know what I'm saying? So it probably will be, and I'll just explain, hey, you know. And I have to say, this Tarte, the big, actually, I'm going to use this one because I really do need to use this up. We are just going to throw some mascara on, and why not? We'll put some more gloss. Like so. See, no matter what I do, the liner, it could be the best freaking liner on the market and it will still bleed down below here. I need to figure out how I can correct that. So this is the Big Bang or Bad Gal Bang Benefit. Grabs the root, especially on the bottom. I have small almond shaped eyes, so I cannot do those fat wands. I cannot do the hourglass wands. If they're small hourglass wands, that seems to be okay. I don't poke myself in the eye. But these here, these are my jam. Okay, guys. If you've made it through this whole thing, bless your heart. Thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed this video. I truly do. Please do let me know in the comments if this is something that you would like me to continue to do. For the time being, I already know what band I'm going to do for the month of April, and it is going to be Tesla. So, with that, I hope to see you guys on the next one. If you're new, I hope you subscribe. I hope you guys like and comment. It truly does help out my channel, especially if you share it. I truly do appreciate it. Thank you so much for watching my videos all the way through and dealing with my squirrel ass. I hope and see you on the next one. And I can't wait for tomorrow to play with my Davina. And hopefully I see you guys there. So with that, stay rockin' and stay metal. Till next time.